All right, this is for the Fleetvan, the FJ3. This is the bottom portion of the sliding door, what's left of it. This part here, this goes back into the door pocket. That's part of the, I guess that would ride on the track somewhere or some kind of a guide. And this is where the window would sit. That's still out in the van itself. Obviously, your door latch, that's frozen. Haven't even tried to free that up yet. And the bottom portion of the door that's left. Obviously, this is very rough. Well, the whole thing is rough. It's a tough project. I don't know if they had wheels that sat underneath of this thing, or if it was just a sort of a channel. When we get out to the van, I can point that out to you. From what I understand, there were no wheels on the bottom of this. It just sort of floated in a channel that's rotted away, and so you have to kind of improvise, maybe with some new step van parts. Try to get the other side of this. That's the interior. It's rough, but it's all straight metal, all riveted and screwed together. I'm going to pause this and take a walk outside. There it is. Go around the front here. The grill is just held in by 4 screws, and when if it gets shipped, I'm going to take the grill out because the screws are not there. There's only one holding it in place at this point. It's not in terrible condition. This piece here, see, it's got a little split. Same thing on the other side. Down low, the tabs are melted or broken off where it mounts to the body, but it's all hazed over. Got some corrosion going on all around the windows. Just trying to take this video so you guys know exactly what you're getting into. There's some perforation right here. So my plan was to remove the whole front windshield assembly, drill out all those rivets and fix all this. Got a little bit of a little whoop-de-doo right there. Try to get up on the bumper here and get a picture of the roof. It's all hazed over, but there's no perforation in the roof that I have seen so far. It looks like it's in pretty decent shape and not like bent up other than the front and the back. It's pretty straight. Like this is about the only area right here that has some perforation, not perforation, but some dents right there. A little bit of hammer and dolly work. Just coming around here, this lip here is rotted. It's very difficult for me to get up into here. It's got some remains of some undercoating of some kind. This footwell area, that's completely rotted. There's the top half of the door. That channel is actually working there. The wheels are working. And this is the pocket that I was discussing. That pocket kind of goes back into there. And that's the channel that has to be remade. If you look at this, it's kind of hard to see. But there's a channel right in the center, and I think the door just kind of floated in that channel. So remaking this is going to be probably one of the challenging parts, or just come up with a different idea. I was looking at my aluminum step van, looking at the channel with the wheels, because that would be the better way to go. My thought is, if that door is just floating in here, you're going to be scuffing paint and all that. It's going to look like crap within the first time you open the door. But obviously, this, as seen in the last video, this is where the major problems are. This side is worse than the other side by a long shot. So if it does ship out west, we're going to, I'm probably going to put some duct tape or something on there, Gorilla tape, to keep that from flailing, because you're getting out in the Midwest, that wind is going to tear this van apart. And it's not that you don't have to replace this stuff, it's just a simple fact that you want to have a template. So, let's see if we can get in the wheel wells here. Actually not awful. You know, strip it with some acid. I bet you most of this is going to be salvageable. I'm going to try to get under here and get a shot of the frame. Here's the rear part of the frame. It's all surface rust. There's no rot that I can see. Believe it or not, that filler neck, the rubber filler neck, is actually not in bad shape. I'm sure the second I touch it, it'll fall apart. Let me stand back up here. Sorry for the shakiness of the camera. Let's get up into this wheel well. It's a lot of flaky undercoating and whatnot. All that is flaky undercoating. I'm sure there's going to be some perforation in there. You know, there's your wheel well. This door is basically not a door. It's just it's permanent. But I'm sure that you can put a handle on it and put a track up top, because it's got the same channel up there. This side is a little bit better, not much better. Almost salvageable. If you're not going to put a sliding door in, you could probably fix that. You know, this tin work on this side is almost salvageable. I'm sure once you strip it down, it's going to get some perforation going in there. A little bit of daylight. If you're inside, you can see a little bit of daylight coming around this window channel here. It's kind of tough to see. Let's see if we can get this. Like I said, more peeling undercoat. This side's a little bit rotted. I don't know how much the camera's picking up. I got my sun glare. I can't see the screen. The axle, most likely, I don't know if it's a Dana 35 or maybe a 40, might be a 44 offset with the tapered axle shafts. Now, I'm going to see if I can get the frame rails for you. Bear with me. Frame is actually not terrible. On the other side, I don't know if you can see it. That's where they modified it for the footwell. It's essentially a CJ2 frame, and they kind of brought it in right there, that channel that you see for the footwell. But it still looks like, to me, as far as a modern drivetrain goes, I think you could definitely fit something in there. But the frame is not rotted, not that I can see. Everything appears to be there. The back floor does not appear too terrible. At the very least, it's straight tin, and you got a template to work with. Excuse me while I just stand back up here. So as far as this side goes, you got obvious problems. You know, this is all cancered up there. Got what's left of the signs here. I don't know if I have any way that I can remove that to save it, but if you want me to, I will try. Now you got the back of the van. Sorry for the sun glare. This channel here, another easy make. It's going to have to get remade. Can't really tell, but it's rotted here. So you either take the rain gutter completely off or remake a new one. These are vents, I guess, both sides. And you got what's left of the door. It's the top of the door here. It's a little bit thin, but it was thin right out of the factory. So my thought with this was to remake the whole bottom half of the door, maybe without the bottom window, to ease things up on the construction end of things. But let me get this door open. So the door kind of just rolls open. Sorry, I'm trying to operate this and see what I'm doing with the camera. And the wheel is going to drop down in those tracks right there. There's a little. So I got to prop the door with my head. At least my head's useful for something. As you can see, there's no real daylight coming through on this side, so it's not as bad as the right side of the vehicle. So we got these corners here. I'm trying to hold this door and take a video at the same time. That's a Saginaw box out of a AM General, a modern mail van. So I'll just include that in there. That's a right side drive power steering box. And the wheel wells are not terrible. Got the rest of these interior pieces here. These are just the interior panels. That wheel well, that's a bad one. As you can see right through this thing. So, you got the channels for your doors over there. And for the most part, like I said, it got the remains of the interior light is still hanging on the ceiling up there. So I'll have all this cleaned out with the exception of the interior panels and what's left of the original wheels. If you want me to ship them, I can. It can't hurt to have those. Some of the wheels were very much rotted. I'm going to pause the video so I can set the door back down. Well, I accidentally shut you off. Anyway, here's part 2. Sun glare is really bad. I apologize. Here's your steering wheel. The remains of it. The remains of the speedometer and gauges. The whole front of this thing. This will give you a pretty good idea. We'll have the sun coming through. There's not a whole lot of perforation up here, but probably enough. The interior panels are still in on the ceiling. I didn't take those out. I wanted to get these apart to see what we're dealing with. So as far as fabricating that piece, here's your top piece coming down. You got a little support bar in the center, and it appears to be bent in and then bent up to match up with the center piece here, the hat, which is like a top hat shape. So the rivets are in here, they're in that channel, and there's rivets obviously coming up from the lower piece. And you could remake that whichever way you want, whichever way is easiest. But that's what you're looking at. That's a very good template on that side. This side here, clearly, yeah, it's gone. There's no saving that one. But when it comes to shipping, you know, if you're going to move forward with this vehicle, I just want to make sure you know exactly what you're getting into. It's all tin work. You know, there's not a whole lot of mud work in this thing to, you know, to fill in the little dings and dents. It's just a matter of remaking panels and rivet it all back together. So there's remains of some signs there. There's the body manufacturer from Ohio. There's some lettering there. I can't remember what that said. Look before backing. That's right. That's right. Anyway, your interior lights. Like I said, this is all surface rust. All these interior panels I was going to send down to my buddies at powder coating shop and just get them redone. But we're beyond that at this point. So here's your channel for the door. I don't know if you... Hang on. That's how that operates. I'm kind of stuck in the track myself as I'm doing this, but... The remains of the seat. I'm keeping the skeleton. You can't have my skeleton. I use that for Halloween stuff. But anyway, if you have any more questions about this, just feel free to obviously call me back and we'll go from there.